Everyone's Classic DM. You know, I worked on this Outlaws and Lawmen update to the Decimation game system, which was originally used for Decimation World War II, which I did in 2020. And then in 2023, I converted it to the Ancient World to be more like a tabletop role-playing game or hardcore zero magic type of thing. And last year, I decided to kind of pay homage to Boot Hill and take the game system and graduate it up to like the late 1800s. And the cowboy era, right? So I have a couple questions for you. Are you guys interested in playtesting this for free? Because I did a bunch of playtests in the summertime after our big trip out west. I did a bunch of research, took lots of photographs and studied what's went on in Arizona and all this kind of stuff. It was a really cool trip, actually. Are you interested in playing this? And if you are, I guess what you could do, you could leave a comment, or you could go to my website and send me an email. If you go to my website, it's at the very bottom, it says contact. You just contact me, right? You can send me an email, say, hey, I'd love to have a copy or 2 or 3 copies for my friends, etc. The reason why I asked this is that I was thinking of doing a Kickstarter to fund really good, high quality concept art. Like I paid this artist who's really, really great from the game industry, who lives in Waco, Texas, to do the cover. Let me just give you a quick snapshot of what we have ready to go right now. So this is the core decimation system. We're using traits. We're having discipline modifiers. We have renown ranks. You have some stat growth and some innate modifiers that grow as you become more experienced. This is a D100 roll under system where you don't have a hit point pool grow. It's all humans, right? No one has more hit points when they've been doing stuff for 15 years versus someone's been doing it for 5 minutes. So it's the same. 1 foot equal 1 inch equals 5 feet scale system. Nothing in the rules is really weird. Like if you got a bunch of battle maps or miniatures, you can do whatever you want to do. It has all the action check system in there, which is really great because it's kind of a system that should have been in Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, where there's measurable levels of difficulty and target numbers you roll to hit it. You don't have like 400 feats and 600 skills, which I think bogs a lot of games like Pathfinder down in 3.5. Combat. So because you're talking about the Wild West, you can have 4 different major types of combat, right? And we're still using the action call and the first action at every tactical turn. Our tactical turns are 4-second long, and then you have campaign time, which lasts as long as you want. You have hand-to-hand fighting, like punching, grabbing. It's like you see in the UFC, like grabbing someone, throwing them on the ground, tripping, throwing, all this kind of business, beating the shit out of each other. You also could have melee combat, cavalry sabers, Indians that have tomahawks, knives. So you have 2 types of combat happening. Of course, you also have ranged attacks that are traditional archaic weapons as well, like bows and throwing spears and even throwing knives and throwing tomahawks and hatchets. So then, of course, we have firearm combat, which we did a lot of rules for that in the Decimation World War II system, which is a real skill-based system, but this one's more trait-based. So you've got 4 different types of combat, and I really went through and tried to streamline these things so they're not quite as complicated as they used to be, but they have the degree of complication you actually really need, so that you pre-calculate all the numbers on your character sheet, and you just, whatever the local situation is, like someone's moving or someone's behind cover or you're jumping off a horse, you have a couple of modifiers that happen like at the table. So you know ahead of time what weapon you're using, and I think that system works really well. In playtesting, someone has a character sheet, they have all the stuff written down for all the different range bands and everything, and they're like, okay, I'm gonna try to shoot this guy running across the street, and he's doing a crouch run. So you have a modifier to the percentage chance you have to hit. You just changes your target number. Really easy. Anyway, so I don't want to sell the system to you. I'm trying to give you an insight of what it looks like. But we have all the combat systems ready. The hit location system, the wound system is there. It's really cool. I really love the system. It's really fun. I'd love to do a fantasy version one day, but that means I gotta come up with like 5 million spells. I've been putting that off for years. I want to get all the real world stuff kind of done first and really clean and solid, and then maybe dabble in fantasy or science fiction at a later date. So you have all the rules all the way up to building the first character. What's missing? Well, I don't have like the fastest guns that ever lived like you saw in the original Boot Hill, like figured out. I want to make a character builder in a spreadsheet so I can go bam, 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 and give you like, 500 NPCs, right? You need to have people to fight. You need, random desperados, random sheriffs, random gamblers at the table. You need NPCs. And because of character creation, all the stats are pre-calculated, like you see these 2 pages here, I mean, you're going to have speed, your hand-to-hand, attack and defense, melee based to hit, melee defense, range based to hit, firearm based to hit, and it's based upon the weapon. Like in this character here, they've got a revolver, single action Colt Army revolver, and then a lever action rifle. So everything's pre-calculated. When you get done calculating everything, the character sheet's just like one page. It's no big deal. I also don't have a like introductory adventure, like, oh, it's a shootout at OK Corral or your stagecoach robbery. I was thinking of creating something that's more theater of the mind as opposed to like making a battle map and all that kind of stuff. I'm not sure whether you really like that or not. It depends. Do you want to play test this system and pick apart things you think are goofy in the combat based on all your gaming experience and say, hey, listen, it seems like it's too easy to hit people with firearms, but then when people are getting wounded and they're dying too fast, or they're really taking a lot of damage, it seems unrealistic, or a situation where the range numbers are really narrow like they are in World War II, so it's really hard to hit someone far away, so people end up closing the gap, and then you can actually rush and charge someone. So the charge mechanic, you know, like those are the kinds of details I talked about with some testers before, and we resolved a lot of those kinds of things. So the video then, in essence, is to ask you, do you want to play test it? And do you need a bunch of NPCs created so you can throw it together like in an introductory little adventure? Or do you want to do that all yourself and make it your own and homebrew everything? So that's basically the question for today. Let me know what you think. I hope you're all having a really cool holiday. Christmas is around the corner. Hope the weather's getting chillier for you. And, you know, we're talking about the Wild West here. It'd be neat to hear what you guys think, you know, because I'm on the fence about the Kickstarter thing. Like, Kickstarter things like a bunch of rewards and all this kind of crap. I just want to make game rules. I like making game rules and adventures. I don't want to write. That's what I want to do. I don't want to make a bunch of art and try to sell stuff. I do this because I just love it. So it's so cool for me to stimulate someone else's imagination. Let me know in the comments, do you want more do you need other elements besides this core set of rules to play test it with your friends? All right. That's all we got for today. Hope you're having a great day. And if you're doing any Black Friday sales, please don't get run over in a parking lot. We'll talk to you later. See ya.